If you're in Australia or perhaps New Zealand and you're hunting for an MMO to play and you'd like it to be one where you're not constantly half a second behind the action, then this video's for you. I've got the latest, up-to-date information on which MMOs have or will soon have good local servers down under. Now, I'm not including other online games, the likes of Warframe, Sea of Thieves and Destiny 2. They've all got pretty good Australian servers or peer-to-peer connections, but they're not really MMOs first and foremost. I've also taken the editorial license to exclude a couple little MMOs I came across that may technically have Australian servers, but honestly, I have no interest in them, and I don't think you would either. The general idea here with all the games I'm going to talk about is that the servers are physically on the Australian island. I consider under 100 milliseconds to be a good MMO ping, and no matter where you are in Australia, if the server is here too, you'll get under 100 milliseconds. If, however, it's an oceanic server that's located near Australia, for example, Singapore, sure, you'll get a better connection than connecting to North America, but it's likely to be over 100 milliseconds. These broader oceanic servers also come with other challenges, such as a more diverse mix of languages spoken by players on the server, which isn't really a negative, it's just, a challenge. By the way, I have a couple referral links to a few of these games in the description below. If you sign up to these games through those links, you and or I might receive some kind of bonus, so if you hate me or can't stand this video, don't use them. In terms of current games with Australian servers, the list is short, there are only two. Jagex is the frontrunner with our most reliable low latency MMO. They've had Australian servers in RuneScape for many years. It might be going on close to like 20 years now. And they've never taken them down like SWTOR or complained that they're really hard work like ESO. And RuneScape is designed so that you can easily jump from server to server at will. So even though we've got Australian servers, no one's limited from playing with anyone else in the world. Win-win. Granted, having a low ping in RuneScape doesn't quite feel as vital as it does for other games. RuneScape runs on a game tick of 0.6 seconds. That means that most actions in the game can only occur every 0.6 seconds, so essentially, the game kinda feels like you've got a high ping even if it's low. This is just how it is by design. Good for you, RuneScape! Blizzard launched servers in Australia for World of Warcraft in 2014. So in both versions of the most popular MMO in history, WoW Retail and WoW Classic, you can have a nice low ping. WoW Retail servers are kinda interconnected, so the group finder can pair you with players on US servers. But again, like RuneScape, I think having a system like this is a good idea for when the population gets a little bit low. Now, I've got to be honest, almost everything I hear about WoW and Blizzard in general for the past few years is very off-putting, but kudos to them for the nice fast servers. And look, that's all the currently playable MMOs that I recommend here. Let's get on to the ones that are coming soon. Crowfall is a crowd-funded MMO that's launching in like a week from when I'm making this video, July 6th, and I'm pretty surprised. If you'd asked me about this game last year, I would have said, oh yeah, I was interested in Crowfall in 2015, but it doesn't look like it's ever coming out. Well, egg on my face because it's properly launching, and it's coming with an Australian server, though it's weird how much I had to dig around to confirm that information. Now, I must say I'm a bit worried about Crowfall. I'd love for it to succeed, just like everything else on this list, but after reading a lot about it and trying the alpha a few times in the past, I still don't know what to make of this game. They're trying to do something slightly different, focusing on kind of seasons of conflict, but it just doesn't feel like the game is launching with a lot of confidence. There isn't a lot of buzz, purchasing the game is somewhat confusing, it doesn't sound like the client is extremely well optimized, but who knows? It's the first MMO launch I've cared about at all in a long time, and other games have proven in recent years that even if the launch is a bit crap, it can still come back from it eventually. I'll definitely be giving their Australian server a try. Okay, so all that buzz and polish and AAA money that Crowfall seems to lack, it's here in spades with New World, which is launching in just 2 months' time, after having been pushed back several times after some lackluster beta events. What's really promising is the patch notes the developers have put out in recent months. It looks like they're really working very hard to make New World ready for a massive splash. I mean, it's unfortunate that they've pivoted towards being a more traditional theme park MMO than the hardcore PvP MMO they were initially making, but whatevs. Good or bad, this is going to be the biggest MMO launch in years. There are a lot of action-based elements to the combat in New World, so a high ping would make things particularly ugly. But not to worry, because Australian servers are a definite thing. Which, I mean, you'd hope so. This game has Amazon behind it, and they already have servers all over the place. Amazon also has other unannounced MMOs in development, aside from its Lord of the Rings one, which was unfortunately recently cancelled. And if New World goes well, it's safe to expect these to have Australian servers too. Final Fantasy XIV is so hot right now. It's the game disgruntled Warcraft players are flocking to in droves. It's never been bigger, it's the MMO of the moment. Which is certainly saying something after its dismal initial launch a decade ago. Square Enix has really pulled this one around, ironically by drawing inspiration directly from WoW. An Australian data centre is coming after the next expansion to the game. Specifically, it's promised before patch 6.1, which should arrive near the beginning of next year. And this is another case in which you'll be able to hop fairly easily between servers around the world and visit them to group up with anyone else in the game. So you'll have no worries about ping or population. You've got the best of both worlds. Ashes of Creation is the MMO I'm personally most excited for. It's an ambitious new studio populated with experienced MMO devs, building an intricate fantasy world that's inspired by traditional MMOs but tightly bonds PvE and PvP, theme park and sandbox around an open world of player-driven commerce, politics and war. What could be better? Creative director Stephen Sharif has such a clear vision for this game and all of its systems. They've done great work mapping it all out on paper, and if any of it doesn't work in the game, they seem ready to adapt. I really could go on and on about Ashes of Creation. Almost everything about it strikes me as the perfect choice in MMO design. It's got a subscription fee and no other costs beyond optional cosmetics. They've got Bear McCreary doing the soundtrack, and you can attack your friends! With a massive penalty, but still, come on! Anyway, they're in alpha this year, and they've promised Australian servers for when the game reaches beta, probably next year. And the game will probably release the year after that, in 2023. I'm also predicting a 2023 launch for Titan Reach. My expectations for this one have shifted a little since they unfortunately didn't reach their Kickstarter goal last year, but they're not giving up. They're still toiling away at this game, and they've now got a shop on their website where you can buy access to the game and other goodies. So far they've raised nearly $200,000, and hopefully that's enough for their small team to keep going and perhaps find more investment for the project. But that's all background. What is Titan Reach? It's a vibrant sandbox MMO, RuneScape-esque but in third person. Some of the key devs are Australian and local servers are a sure thing. I look forward to checking in on this one again once some more time has passed. Look, I don't really feel like talking about Star Citizen at the moment. It's the massive space sim MMO which has crowdfunded hundreds of millions of dollars and has been in development for nearly a decade, and it'll have Australian servers when it launches. Which might be in 2024. Or might not. Who knows? And that's it for now. As you can see, we're about to hit a pretty lively period for MMOs after about 5 years of almost nothing new. There are a bunch of other upcoming MMOs I haven't mentioned that could well have Australian servers, like Palia or the MMO Riot Games is developing, but we just don't know for sure yet. Let me know in the comments which ones you're most excited for, and until next time, take care.